Hello there, my dear. I am excited to come back to you today with an oracle card reading. If you haven't been here before, I'm Raquel. I'm a channeler. I would say I'm a channeler of the divine, my guides. Um, and I channel messages in order to support you in your life as a human and as a creative. Um, my guides are reminding me to remind you that sometimes the messages that come through, all of them may be for you, some of them may not be for you. And it's okay. You don't have to, they're saying you don't have to force yourself into every part of the message. Whatever part is intuitively sent for you will be sent for you. All right. So today they made it very clear that I am to do, um, they're saying like a two-card spread for creatives from the Animal Elders Oracle. So we're doing aminals and creatives today. Um, so I'm going to shuffle the cards. And they're saying intentionally they only want two cards because they're animals. They don't want to send you away with too many animals. Um, mm, this is a beautiful Oracle card deck by Asha Frost. Um, it's just it's like I'll be honest. Personally, I don't do much with animals. Um, I have like a spirit animal that always comes to me in the real world, but other than that, like I have a cat and that's it. So I don't have a lot of decks with animals in them. But today they're like, it's an animal day. And I had no idea who the animal cards were gonna be for. And they're like, nope, it's for the creatives. They need to hear from their animal elders. And the reason I love this deck so much is because it's like the animal that's there is an elder. And so, and it's from an indigenous medicine woman. So like there's the indigenous languages in the top. Um, and then each one has like a message from the animal at the end. And I feel like it's so beautiful. And I think it's probably because I'm like I feel like I'm a wisdom keeper. And so I love the idea that the animals have been turned into like a figure that is like a guide and a mentor. And so they're saying like, yeah, these are the animal elders coming through for the creatives today, and we'll see what it is, the messages they have to share with you. All right. So, and they're saying depending on how the reading goes, we'll jump into the description in here and see where we went. Ooh, Elder Lynx. Mm. Seek the unseen. My tummy dropped when I read the part because I've seen this card before in the deck, but I don't know much about that many animals. So the lynx, his image is a little hard for me to read. I don't connect with it like in some way, but seek the unseen, like my stomach dropped and I was like, yeah, creatives, like what are you not allowing yourself um to explore because you feel like everything has to be very tangible and visible for you. Like what is in the world of the unseen? And if you're creative, they're asking you to remember that there are things that your craft requires for you to have to create the thing. And they're like, but what are the other things that you haven't accounted for that could help you create the thing that you're here to create? Because that's what they're saying is like there's something um, in that world that you're not, they're saying like you forgot that's important to the thing you're creating. So they're showing me like, I'm gonna put the card down, but they're showing me this, they keep showing me this visual of like someone who's a painter and they're like just obsessed with their tools and their colors and they tasks and all this stuff. Excuse me. All coming up today. It's so funny. I never have burps or gas at all when I do readings, but I'm recuperating from not being well for a few days and it's like we're here to tell you. So in this vision, um, of the artists with all their tools and like I could just see them in like a beautiful studio and they got all the stuff. The artist has forgotten. They're showing me like this is a metaphor. The artist has forgotten the world beyond the tools that they used to create. So that's what they're saying. Like what is the thing that inspires the art that you have forgotten about? That's the big question. Because that's what the unseen is, right? To an extent, they're saying for those of us in like connection with the spiritual realm, it is that, but it's also for those who are creative and they're creating the thing. What is the reason for which you're creating that you have forgotten? It's time to go seek it and see what it has to offer you to help you. Because they're showing me like some of you are in like a tizzy. You're like creating and you got all this stuff and you're like, oh, they're showing me like the painter all with the tizzy and all the colors and they're knee deep in this painting and they're almost done and they're just exhausted and they're like, oh, but something's missing and they don't know what's missing. And they're like, well, leave the studio, leave the tools behind. Seek the thing that's not in front of you right now for guidance, for clarity. And they're saying for some of you, that'll be like connection with the divine. Some of you will be like people. For some of you, it'll be like, oh, I need to be in the awe of the creations of the things that I love to create. So they're showing me like, oh, the artist goes to a museum or goes somewhere to like take in the loveliness that is the creations of their craft that other people do that make them like fall in love with it. So like based on what kind of creative you are, right? And based on where you're being called to, those are the things they're asking you to do. It's like seek connection with the divine, seek connection with people. And they're saying like people and the things that you're actually creating things about. So they're showing me like a writer and a painter, and the painter's like, go talk and be with the people that you're painting. If they're not there anymore, that's fine, but you need to go immerse yourself with them again. Or it's like you're doing a bowl of fruit. Well, go be with fruit. They're saying like literally it's that simple. They're like, go be with fruit. Where is the fruit? Where is it being displayed? Go be with it. Go be with it again. It's gonna activate something, right? They're saying if you're a writer and you're sitting here writing about people, you need to go be with people. They're like reminding me to tell you about an experience I had very early on in my writing. I was taking classes as an undergrad, and one of the biggest things I was taught was like go sit in a cafe and listen to the way people talk. It'll give you a real strong sense of how to actually do dialogue that represents human experience. Um, and so I was just saying, like, the writer needs to go be with the people and the thing that it's writing about. Because once you're there, it's gonna spark something. They're saying it's gonna trigger and spark something that'll bring you back to center. So they're saying they want me to remind you again. It's like to seek the unseen in this context is like seek connection with the divine. Or they're saying like the energy of the actual project, seek connection with other people or the things that your actual creation is about. And or go be with the fabulous creations of your craft so that you can breathe in. They're like, sometimes you just need to take a breath in to see like, oh, this is the magic of the thing that I've committed my life to doing. All right, second card. Ooh, Elder Bat. Wow. It took me a little while to actually see the bat because I was looking at the branch and it was almost sort of like, and then I didn't see the bat. So in case you didn't see the bat, there goes the bat. Trust your senses. Hmm. They're saying they want me to read it from the book, but before I read, they want to remind you about the bat has wings, which is different than the animal that traverses through land, right? And they're saying like they intentionally chose those different kinds of animals so that you can get access to different perspectives in the creative process. So, elder bat, I am not going to try to pronounce that indigenous set of words for bat, but I will put it there for you to see. Trust your senses. Sometimes it's a fluttering, a sharp sensation, or an interaction that takes your breath away. Other times it's a dream, a vision, or a feeling of warmth in your heart. When Elder Bat flies into your life, you are asked to open your senses to the myriad ways that spirit, creator, and your ancestors speak to you. Hmm. In the moment, you may feel that you are being critical or even judgmental when a sensation turns into strong knowing. You may feel the urge to repress your instincts, to be polite or pleasing to others. However, this is not a time to bypass what the spirit world and your powerful wisdom are telling you. This is a time to trust your senses and attune them to where you might need to take action. Just like the bat listens closely for echoes to guide their way, you too are receiving powerful waves of feedback. Some may be warnings, and others may be blessings. Whatever the message may be, know that it's not time for doubts or hesitation. Listen closely as Elder Bat offers you their gift of accuracy and heightened sentences. Release all distraction and know that your energy field is finely attuned to detect both shadows and light. With Elder Bat at your side, your surroundings are constantly delivering messages. All you need to do is listen. Elder Bat speaks. So, this is what the Elder Bat has to say to you. Welcome me in when the sound waves of the world reverberate through your body, heart, and spirit. My acute way of hearing, sensing, and knowing are yours, and your instincts to listen are amplified. Because I am nocturnal, I also bring the medicine of shadow. But remember, it is only in the darkness that we can see the stars. Your deep listening makes way for the light of truth to land in your heart. I fly by your side, validating the messages you receive through your senses and helping you to trust the power you hold. And they want me to read the last sentence again for you to really take it in. I fly by your side, validating the messages you receive through your senses and helping you to trust the power you hold. So good. Okay. So there were a couple of things that came up as messages that they wanted me to deliver in regards to the Elder Bat card. One of them is some of you are having difficulty trusting the timing of your creative project. My tummy hurt when I said that. Um, and by some of you, that also means me because they're sending, when they send you a message, sometimes the message is also for me. So today, this is also a message for me. So, um, in the sense of the sensing, they're like, you have a sense that you're pushing and you're forcing instead of being in flow with the creative project. And if that's you, you need to like release. Like you need to release this idea that the project has to be within this time frame in this way, end up in this way. Because they're saying that's not how it works. The thing you're creating doesn't work that way. And they're saying some of you need to agree that the first version you have right now is enough and it can go out. So some of you are in different places. So they're saying like some of you have enough of something and you're just like sitting here and forcing it to be even more when it's like get the first draft out to whoever, whatever you need to get it out to and let it go. And some of you are just like trying to force, they're like another pair of you, they're showing me like, oh, you're just like trying to get it there, even though like you don't have those of you who are here either don't have the inspiration, the motivation, or the energy to really be putting into the project. And so you're just like, they're like, you're dialing it in, and that's not how creativity works. Whatever you're doing, this is not how it works. Um, and then some of you, they're saying like you're done. Like you're done. But you're taking a while to acknowledge that you're done. And they're like, we know it's scary. Like they have this like in my chest and my heart, it's like, ooh. So I'm like, oh my God. Like I'm like there's a huge sense of fear. And they're like, some of you are at the completion cycle and you're scared that you've arrived there because you're not sure what comes after this project. And they're like, you won't know that until you release the one you have on, you're holding on to. Because the longer, the more you hold on to it, you think the next project is connected in some way. But that's not necessarily true. They're like, for some of you, it may be connected, but for many of you, it's actually not connected. The journey you had with this project is complete. You received what you were supposed to receive. It's time to let it go so that you can open yourself up to receive whatever you're meant to creatively channel next. But they're like, you won't be able to do that from a good place if you're like too scared to let the one you have in your hands go. And they're saying some of you who are at the point of completion are scared for Two or three reasons. The first one, like fear of rejection, you put it out, nobody wants it. And they're saying like that's good news too. There's nothing wrong with that. It's information, right? They're saying that information shouldn't impact what you create next. It should just be information for you to reflect on the process of creating the thing. And what did you account for as you moved through that process? And what would have been a different path or something better you could have considered, right? Another reason some of you are scared, they're saying, is because what is it? What? Sorry, they're like, you're scared it won't feel as good as you think it'll feel to be done. But like somehow they're saying you've built up this sense of completion of finishing this thing. And when you're complete, like you're scared it won't feel as good as you've like built it up to be. And they're like, and that's where you need, they're saying like that's where you need to get your head on board with like what you actually want it to feel like because you can cultivate that. Um, and then be aware of what actually happens at its completion. But that's the beauty of being human. You don't know how you'll feel. Um, because they're saying like that's the point of living as a human. You don't always know. And then when you do it and you sit at the end of it and you're like, oh, I did that. I mean, that doesn't feel that great. Well, the question is, why didn't it feel that great? What is it that you were hoping to get? Is it that you're waiting to get affirmation from other people? Is it that you're waiting to get paid a certain amount for it to feel good? Like, where is it that you've placed that level of like feeling good elsewhere so that you can like, they're like, so you can clean it up for next time. And you don't place your level of enjoyment, satisfaction, fulfillment in that. They're like, call your power back from that because that shit ain't cool. You're creative and you don't have to hand your power over. And they're saying, like, that's what was in the reading. They're like, you don't have to hand your power over to that feeling. Trust the power you hold as a creative. Uh, mm. Yeah, they're sharing like another vision because I was looking at the card and they're like, we want you to make sure to tell them like bats fly, right? And so they also have night vision. And so even if you're in your project right now and you're super freaking lost, but you're in it and you're doing it and you don't know what the heck is going to happen with it, like they're like, you're like the bat though. You have senses. So there are like waves and connections to the divine. There's also a knowing within you. You also have the ability to see at night. So what is it that you are closing yourself off from that doesn't allow you to see the project as you would like to? And what's going to help you gather enough perspective? They're like, how do you gather yourself up in flight, intuition, and your creative instincts to gather the insight you need to do this project the way that you want to? And they're saying it's going to require wings. And that's why they sent you the bat. It's going to require anchoring into the senses beyond the ones that are like, do this page number, write this thing, do this thing, right? Like, or you show up, you do this to the canvas, or you stretch the body, or whatever. They're like, it's going to require something a little bit more than that for you to actually gain the point of view of where the project is supposed to go. They're saying there are three things. They're saying like sometimes for some of you it'll be people that will help you get there. Like they're like showing like sometimes connection with other people in your craft, like open you up to collaboration. But like this may not be for some of you who sit in comparison mode a lot. If that's where you're at, don't seek out other people who are your peers. But some of you really get a lot of like lit up when you can connect with someone else, see something they do, and then be like, oh, but I'm doing this. Let me go do my thing now. Like now I know what I'm doing, right? Um, for some of you, it's just being with the craft of what you love and your materials without attachment to the project you've committed to. Like they're like, sometimes some of you need to go anchor into play again in the context of your creativity, right? And they're showing me like in moments of my writing, like just writing random poems about the damn weather. Like, um, I don't know, I wrote a poem once about a spider in my bathtub. And I don't know where it is. It's in a book somewhere. But sometimes, like, we just like, for those of us, like, when you look at your craft, how can you anchor into play and disconnect from the project that you're on so that you can gather this level of perspective? Like, that's going to be what's supportive. And they're saying for the third of you, it'll be just walking away. Not because you're not going to get it done, but because you need the space away from it to actually appreciate it and be able to come back to it. And they're like, and that's just the truth. And it's hard. They're saying like it's going to be hard for some of you to stomach that. So intuitively sense which one of those do you think that you need to work on in order to gather enough perspective on the project and be able to come back to it in a way that lets you feel like this is going to be nourishing and nurturing for you and your creativity still too. Because some of you are like in it, in the darkness and the depths of like not knowing. And it's like, well, then what's going to help you know? Like what's going to be the practice that gets you there? And they're saying repeat again so people remember. It's like for some of you to be connecting with other people of your who do your craft and get it, and you can see it and be with them and talk it out with them. Um, for some of you, it'll be like just playing with your craft without attachment to the project itself, just like go do a thing. And they're showing me like, oh, you like to paint, go sign up for like a paint night. And just do it for you, like, and see like where is the magic and the thing that you love, right? Um, and they're saying another set of you will just walk away for whatever period of time. They're saying you should walk away for at least 1 to 3 days. Some of you need a week, they say, away. And what they mean by walk away is like, don't work on the thing. They're saying like, don't work on the thing for that amount of time. Some of you like, they're saying heart makes the distance makes the heart grow fonder. Some of y'all need to be distant because you're in it and you're, oh my God, and like you're just too in it. Like it's just too, and they're showing me people who are like in it and they just like, oh my God. And if I just finish this one thing, then I'll be complete. And they're like, you're not gonna finish it the way you want because you're like too in it. They're like, go for a walk, have dinner, have sex, enjoy your life, be away for at least 24 hours. And they're like, most of you will take the 24 hours and still not be like, oh, I want to go back. So stay away for as long as it takes for you to decide, oh shit, I want to go back. And they're saying if that time exceeds 7 days, talk to someone because they don't want you to be like, oh, you got to take a break for months. It's like, no, if you hit the 7 days and you still don't have a desire to go back, you still can't get a sense of the project, then find other help. Because necessarily taking even more time off beyond that isn't going to solve it. There's something else underneath it. And maybe someone can support you with that. I'm happy to support you with that if you would like to. You can join me in Sacred Thresholds. You receive a reading, and we spend a month together, really considering like what came up in the reading. And so you can always get support from me. Um, And I always find it really powerful when you can take a moment to acknowledge whatever the divine wants to offer you about a project and then be in relationship with it a little differently. So they're saying for some of you, if you decide to take a break until you're ready to go back. If at 7 days you're not ready to go back, seek support where you need it, right? You're welcome to book a reading with me, but they're like, seek the support um, where you need it most. And they're saying like, they're showing me some of you will seek out support from mentors, from loved ones, from a coach or um, a guide of some sort, because they don't want you to think that it's over because you walked away. The choice to walk away to gather enough breath, to gather enough perspective, right? It just may mean you need even more perspective. And that's okay too. That's gonna benefit the project. And they're saying most of all, it's gonna benefit how you feel when the project is complete. And this moment's going to teach you something about the way you create that is actually quite important to the project itself. Right. All right. They're saying we are complete, y'all. So if that message resonated with you, let me know in the chat what most sort of sparked for you. I'd love to be able to continue to support you either in the comments or in Sacred Thresholds. We do this work and it's amazing. what can happen when a creative decides like, oh, I want to do the thing I've been doing with a little bit more awareness and intention, and support. I always say it's like support, support, support. Because as creatives, we're often like, oh, the support comes in the tool or the mentor or the class, but sometimes the support on the spiritual side is freaking amazing. And I say that because often we're alone as creatives, and the amount of spiritual support that is on our side for what we're here to create is really tremendous. And you just have to ask for it, activate it, um, and you'll be amazed what they have for you there. And so if you feel as though I may be that person, then check out the description below for a link to sign up for Sacred Thresholds. And I will see you all next time.